A lot of people ask me about motivation. And of course, they want to know how to get more motivation, how to get more motivated, how to motivate themselves to do more. And there's lots of great techniques. And I'll pass this one along because I'll start with the simplest ones. And as I keep making these videos, I will get into the more detailed ones. But, I love simplicity. And you don't need every technique. I love to explore them to see which ones will work. But when you find some that work, man, you just need to get to work on those. So try this one and see if it works. It's super simple. It's super easy. And those are the ones I value the most. The hard ones, the complicated ones, the complex ones, the time consuming ones, yeah, they can be good too. But if I can get 90% of the results from an easy one, I'll take that for quite a bit. Now, at the top end, you need 100% because you need everything. But if you're working your way up, maybe 90% is pretty damn good. So start with this and see how it works for you. Uh, Increasing your motivation is another way of saying increasing your desire to have something. And our conscious desires are good and they're strong, but they are no match. They're no match for our subconscious desires. Those are the ones that really drive us, and sometimes we don't even know. Well, they're subconscious. They're below our conscious, so we don't know. We show up and we're like, well, I didn't really know, but yeah, they're hard to know about. But they're not. Even though we can't be conscious of our subconscious, we can still rub up against it, and we can still uh, influence it because it sure influences us. So this is a technique to increase your subconscious motivation. It has a lot to do with feeling more than thinking because that's the way the subconscious works. It feels more than it thinks. It's emotional more than it is rational. In fact, a lot of times it's irrational. And it's good to know that. But all you have to do to increase some of that motivation, or one way you can increase some of that motivation, I think, a technique that's been pretty well worn, it's a good path, is to set your goal and at the top of a piece of paper, write down what the goal is, and then make a list. And that list is entitled, How My Life Will Be Different After I Achieve This Goal, or How Things Will Change When I Accomplish What I Set Out to Do, or What This Goal Will Do for Me, or etc., etc. You can title it anything you want. It's about how your life is going to change from not having accomplished the goal to having accomplished it. What things in your life do you expect are going to be different? If that list is short, if there's nothing on that list, I'm going to say you're not going to achieve it. It's not really a goal. You say it is consciously, but if you can't define how your life is going to change after you have it, you still may achieve it, but good luck. Good luck. You're not going to be driven to achieve it. If you make this list of how my life will be different, or maybe even how my life will be better, that might even be more positive. How my life will be better after I achieve this goal. The things in my life that will be improved after I make this happen. If that's a big long list, you can constantly revisit that list to add to your motivation. These are the things you want to happen. These are the things that are going to change. These are why you're putting in all this time and energy and effort. Why are you working so hard for something if you don't know what it's going to do for you? I will submit that you won't work very hard for it. If it's just this amorphous, I don't know, it'll be better. It'll be nice to have that. It'll be nice to achieve that. That'll get you through some little tiny little goals. That'll get you through some small accomplishments. But if you've got something big you're trying to bite off out of life, and it's going to cost a lot for you to get it, and you don't know what's going to change and why you're doing this in the first place, and you can't put that on paper, you might not be able to make that happen. You might. Some people fall into success accidentally. They they're successful by accident. But that's not the way most things in life are. And the harder things are, and the bigger they are, and the more, um, the greater the accomplishment, the less that ever happens. It happens. It happens at the top levels. I have seen it. I've seen it occasionally, but it's rare. It's not the norm. The norm is that if you work really long and hard for something, that you have to work really long and hard for something that's a great achievement. And you need all the motivation you can get. And so that's what we're talking about here. How to increase your motivation. One is defining how your life is going to change after you get it. That can be very motivating. Those things you write down, if they are valuable to you and you really want them, and you remind yourself, yeah, I'll have this. This guy will respect me, and I promise this, and I'm going to come through, and they'll respect me for coming through, and whatever. Um, they can be external things, but the most powerful ones are the ones that change you internally. So how will you personally change? These are the biggies. These are the things that will drive your ass to do whatever it takes. How will I change for the better after I've achieved this? How will this change me? And I'll submit that if it won't change you, you're probably not going to fall through. You'll probably find a reason or an excuse or a this happened, that happened, things got in the way, and you never get there. But if those things are big and powerful, and you continually revisit them consciously, that feeds into the subconscious. And they're feeding each other that way. It's a loop. My desires and my emotions, my thoughts, I keep repeating them to myself. When I do this, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be better. This is going to change me. I will be a different person. I will not be the same person anymore when I do this. After tonight, I will be a different person because I'm going to make this happen. And that can be extremely, extremely motivating. So very simple technique. Um, that I don't see how it could possibly not give you something. But if it doesn't, again, with all of these things, I always say, you should try it. You should see if it doesn't help you. Find out for yourself. You know, people make all kinds of promises, and I'm not one to make promises. But I'll bet this works for you. Um, these techniques have been around for a long time. They're not magic. They're not special. People have used them. And so you can too. To some degree of success, I hope. I'm pretty sure you'll have some success with this. So give this a shot. If you want to increase your motivation about achieving a goal, you need to write down how you're going to be different, how things are going to be different, and most importantly, how you're going to be different after you achieve it. That justifies it. You're justifying it to yourself. You're justifying the work and the pain and the blood, sweat, and tears and money and time that you're going to put into this. Because this is what you're going to get. These are the important things you're going to get. Yeah, you might get a world record. You might get a state championship. You might get a promotion, whatever. Those are little things compared to the things that change about your life. So give that a shot and see what it can do for you. And thank you for listening.